Somali soldiers stormed the home of a British IS commander operating in this remote region. He fled into the Galgala Mountains, but not before recruiting and indoctrinating fighters, the first evidence of the so-called Islamic State reaching the Horn of Africa. The man with the bright orange beard is the commander, Abdul Qadir Moomin, a UK passport holder who lived in South London and still has links in the country. Here, he and some of his supporters are pledging allegiance to IS, having split from the Somali al-Shabaab group. The propaganda film is filled with urgings to their fellow Muslims in the rival group to join them in the much better funded global IS network. It's a tempting message of better prospects in this desperately poor country. In the village of Galgala, where the IS commander had his base, the Somali military is now in control. But the jihadists left a trail of destruction, burning and trashing homes and terrifying the citizens. For the women, it was particularly harrowing. They told us about regular beatings and abuse for not covering themselves up enough.
This was just something like a mob would do to a thief. They just pull you out recklessly, they throw you around from one man to another. While that is happening, they hit you with the whips.
We were given a military escort for the 7-hour trip into the mountains. Somali intelligence fears the twinning of al-Shabaab terrorists with IS is an alarming development and suspect the involvement of a handful of British Somalis, as well as some funding from the UK. The key is containing the new IS branch here and stamping out sleeper cells further south.
This has got to be one of the most difficult landscapes in the world to secure. Not only is it hugely inhospitable, the soldiers simply aren't here in enough numbers. They don't have good enough equipment, they don't have enough money, and they've got this vast area not only to defend, but to clear out.
The soldiers have been fighting the homegrown al-Shabaab terror group here for years. But IS, with its global reach and international funds, is a different prospect altogether. And the soldiers were keen to show us a robust response.
We've been told that they have spotted a group of terrorists and they're planning to take them on. There they go.
Any suspected jihadi movement is repelled. The soldiers can't risk them spreading outside this mountain region. Senior commanders told us the international community ignores at its peril the emergence of IS in Somalia and the autonomous state of Puntland.
If Puntland is not helped to fight terrorism, there will be a breeding ground for terror here that will spread to the rest of the world.
These weapons, draped in the jihadi flags much favoured by IS, were seized during a recent attack from the sea. Many of the fighters were very young, and to the security services, IS and al-Shabaab, with their similar ideologies and objectives, are indistinguishable. We're one of the few who've been allowed to talk to the child soldiers captured and now held in prison in the Puntland capital of Gurigii. The eldest is 15, the youngest only 10. He told of being kidnapped and forced to fight and what happened when he tried to flee the terror group.
They tied
me on a tree for a day and a night.
And then?
They also whipped me. They used the whip to cane me.
Did you think he was fighting for IS?
I don't know the name of the group. group I was fighting for.
Did they tell? Were the boys told what the purpose of the fighting was?
They just told us we would go to heaven.
The authorities insist these boys will be rehabilitated, but they're part of a new generation of fighters being ruthlessly exploited by competing jihadi groups. And now the international IS network has put its tentacles down in the Horn of Africa. How many will be coerced or tempted to join with the promise of paradise and riches? Alex Crawford, Sky News in Puntland, Somalia.